Hello again, Taurus. So before we begin, I have two cards for you, and I really like what you pulled here because to me this is speaking about a change on the inside for you guys. So from Le Vampire, you pulled Burnt by the Sun, Ambition, Extension, and Reach. This card speaks about needing to know your own potential. You need to go beyond the limits you have set for yourself. You may not succeed, but you'll know a great deal more about yourself. And this is also about being mindful of what is safe and wise for you to do at this time. You don't want to overdo something without the proper training or practice. This is all about, practice and hard work. But eventually getting to your goals, but needing to go beyond the limits that you set for yourself. Now, when you look at that with Soulmate from Chakra Wisdom, this is different than any other soulmate card I have ever seen. This one speaks more about the inner conversation that you have with yourself rather than an actual soulmate. So now with Soulmate, the inspiration for this card says to enjoy the beauty of a rose, we must risk being pricked by our inner thorns. This offers a new way to live. The best incentive to change is love. And the key ideas here are speaking your truth, choosing love, freedom through transformation, an unexpected outcome, new truths. This, to me, is saying that there's something new going on internally with you where before where you may have been trying to overdo it, you're learning a little bit more about yourself here. Here's the energy coming through. Oh my goodness. This seems to be a theme so far. So the Five of Cups being signifier to me is saying that there is some emotional hurt going on. And that is where your focus is on. But it's like, what can we do to change this? Burnt by the Sun and Soulmate is saying that you need to start looking at speaking to yourself differently and learning more about yourself. Man, oh man. So, with the Five of Cups, this being emotional hurt and loss and suffering, again, the message there is that not all is lost. I mean, it sucks being separated from the things that we love, and this is shitty as hell seeing this as the signifier right now. The past coming through, so the Ten of Cups. Now, see, these two are conflicting. Seeing that coming through is saying that, looking at that with the Five, it's like there was almost this feeling of like domestic bliss and harmony and abundance and emotional fulfillment and all this. But you're left with this feeling of loss. Like, is this what you've lost? Present conditions, the Three of Wands. So now seeing that to me is like, you're willing to do the work that's needed to correct this issue here. Now, the Three of Wands is manifestation. Being connected to the Empress, yes. This is watching the proverbial ship come in. This is also the travel card. But it's like this is what you're trying to manifest here. But that's hard to do when the focus is here. And I still feel like there's this feeling of, what did you lose emotionally here that's making this show up? Because it's like you're trying to create that feeling again. Future conditions, so the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands is like fast. It's a fast-moving situation. Information is coming at you quickly, but it's also about grounding your dreams to earth. So, clearly here, it's like, seeing the sequence here to me, forgetting about this. It's like, you want to continue to create this emotional fulfillment here. This is one of the most uplifting cards you can see in a reading. And here you are like, yes, let's continue to manifest this. And you want it done quickly. But still, there's this need to deal with what's going on here. The best path to follow, yeah. So look at the threes. Yes. So the Three of Pentacles, this is like being recognized for the work that you're doing. It's like just starting out But, you're being sought out for what you do here. But to me, this more importantly says that you're going to do the right thing. It's like there's this need to work at the issues that are going on here. I mean, and clearly it's like you're wanting to do that, and you're wanting to do it quickly. You're wanting to bring this dream down to earth. And it would make sense why Burnt by the Sun is showing up. Like, if you are trying really hard for this, and it just wasn't happening because you may have been like overdoing it, it would make sense that this is showing up. But it's like you're doing the right thing, and you're going to see that manifestation of that 10 of Cups again. And it's like you're grounding that. You're bringing that down and trying to make that your reality. Oh yeah, the influences around you. So now the Knight of Wands, there's two ways to look at this for me in this position. So, the Knight of Wands is all about being passionate, being driven. This is about new adventures, and traveling, right? Seeking new adventures and going after the things that you are passionate about. Now, on the other hand, this could be a fire sign. And again, the Knight of Wands is like passionate and driven. On the flip side, I mean, there's definitely some arrogance there. Somebody who's restless and constantly seeking too much, basically. Constantly going after new things and leaving things behind. I'm looking at it this way. It's like, I have to wonder. But with you pulling the wands like you are, I would hope that this is your energy around you right now. Like, you know what? I'm going to go after the things that I'm passionate about. And what I want in my life is this feeling of emotional fulfillment and harmony and bliss. Not this shit. Again, it sucks being separated from the things that we love. But, I can't say it enough with this one. Not all is lost here. The focus needs to come off of what's been lost and what you still have and working with that. And I feel like that's what you're going to do. And again, that Three of Pentacles is like, yeah, we're going to do the right thing here. Your hopes and your fears. And it makes sense. It makes sense. And once again, so the Seven of Wands to me is that I'm not taking any more shit card. I'm not going to deal with any more bullshit. You're letting people know exactly where it is that you stand. You have been through enough. You are going to do what it is that you want to do, and nobody else is going to tell you different. And I like seeing that. I like seeing that in your hopes and your fears, because you're hoping to continue to work at manifesting what it is that you want and get away from this here. And again, I mean, looking at it this way, it's like, I hate to say it this way, but there's almost like, if this is a fire sign or if this is a person, it's like at one point there was this harmony and this bliss, and then everything just went to emotional muck, and it's like, is this person responsible for this? But you're like, screw that. I'm going to do something else here. And you're doing it quickly. And again, it's bringing it down to earth. Oh, wow. And the outcome. Look at that. The High Priestess. I love it. I love seeing it. So the High Priestess is the psychic card. This is where all the possibilities lie. This is where all the unknown knowledge is. And this is about you tapping into your intuitive nature. And definitely that's what you want to do when you're going through this right here, this process of creating what you want. I mean, you're grounding it. You're not taking any more shit, and if this isn't a fire sign, with this being your energy around you, you're like on fire and you're passionate about creating this feeling of emotional fulfillment, and you're tapping into your intuition. And I also feel like here, looking at her, it's like the knowledge that you're seeking will be made known to you. I feel like some secrets are going to be uncovered here, which may ease the burden of this feeling here, and again, with Burnt by the Sun, it would make sense. It would make sense if, like, this was a burnt by a relationship type thing instead. And again with soulmate, it's about the conversation, the inner conversation that you have with yourself, especially when it comes to your emotions. When you're trying to create this emotional fulfillment, you really need to think about what that means for you. And what does that look like? What is it that you truly want? Because clearly you don't want this. Turn on your heart light. Allow yourself in this moment to reflect on a time when you experienced love. Beautiful, beautiful, Taurus. I love it. So definitely there's a need to change the inner conversation that you have with yourself. Tell yourself you love yourself. Damn it. After all the shit that you've been through, yes. And remember, you are limitless. You can create anything that you want in your life. And you're definitely doing it. And then turning on your heart light. I love it. This to me is saying that you need to reflect on what love feels like to you. Again, what does this look like to you? How does that feel? I love it, Taurus. I think that the messages that came through here are absolutely beautiful for you. Okay, Taurus. So, looking at this, I feel like maybe in the process of creating this emotional fulfillment, like there may be this feeling of like getting less than what you expected. But regardless, it's like you're definitely doing some work here to create and manifest the things that you truly want. And clearly you're bringing it down to earth. I mean, you're wanting to have it happen quickly, definitely when you look at the Knight of Wands with it, for sure. But again, there's this question about what does this look like for you? What do you really want? What does emotional fulfillment mean for you? But, seeing it in the way that this played out, I really feel like you're going to have that manifestation in your life. Even though there's this feeling here of just emotional, I feel like you're going to get out of it. Now, if this has to do with a fire sign in your environment, looking at it, I feel like you've gotten to the point now where you're like, I'm not taking any more shit. I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to create the things that I want in my life. And, what I feel like is if this is a person, what you're trying to create is this feeling from the past of emotional fulfillment. But with the High Priestess, I really feel like you're tapping into your intuitive nature when it comes to the things that you're trying to create here. And also, I really feel like some hidden knowledge will be made known to you that'll help guide you in the right direction here when you're starting this process of creating the things that you want. And again, the Three of Pentacles to me, seeing this is saying that you're going to do the right thing. And you're definitely doing the work that's needed here to create what you want. Now, burnt by the sun, when you talk about overdoing it, it would make sense why the Five of Cups is showing up. Like maybe you tried so hard and you received less than what you were expecting. But again, this card is saying that with time and practice and patience, you will start to see what it is that you're going after. And, again with this, you have to go beyond the limits that you set for yourself, especially with what you're doing here, because the 2 3s, this is no joke. To me, this is powerful manifestation going on. Now, on top of all of that, you have soulmate, which again is different than any other soulmate card I've ever seen. I expected seeing that this had to do with a person, but it doesn't. It has to do with the way that you conversate with yourself. And I love it. I love the description behind it because truly, you need to change the way that you think and the way that you speak to yourself. And then looking at that with what you pulled here, oh yeah, tell yourself that you love yourself. There is nothing wrong with that. And again, you are limitless. And then turn on your heart light. I love it. I love it, Taurus. I think these are absolutely beautiful. And I think that once you start to do this, you will see the things that you want manifest in front of you.